Welcome. Today we're going to tackle a huge topic, London. It's one of the most complex, sprawling cities in the world.
And our goal here is to give you the essential roadmap. We're aiming for a rapid fact-based tour to help you understand what makes this massive city tick.
We're stripping away the fluff to focus on the key historical, geographical, and cultural foundations.
Right, so the basics first. London is the capital of England and, of course, the entire United Kingdom. If you look at a map, you'll find it right in the southeast of Great Britain.
And the scale is just immense. We're talking about over 600 square miles for Greater London.
And part of the reason it could get that big is the land itself. It's mostly flat, which, allowed the city to just sort of spread out in all directions over the centuries.
But that growth wouldn't have happened without one key feature.
The River Thames. That is the single most important piece of geography here. You have to think of it as the original engine for the city.
Why was it so critical?
Well, it connects London directly to the North Sea. That means access to global trade to the entire world.
So it was a highway for ships.
Exactly. It's the reason London grew from a small trading post into this massive international hub that started thousands of years ago. And we should also probably mention the climate. It's generally mild, but you should always be ready for that famous rain.
Okay, so let's go right back to the beginning. You can't really talk about London without talking about the Romans.
That's where it all starts, about 2,000 years ago. The Romans set up a settlement, and they called it Londinium.
And they knew right away how important the location was. They built a big wall around it for protection.
They did. And what's fascinating is that original walled area, it still exists today. It's now known as the City of London.
Just a small part of the modern city, right? About a square mile.
That's it, the square mile. And that tiny ancient footprint is still the powerful financial heart of the whole city. It even has its own sort of separate government, its own mayor. It's a city within a city.
And the Romans, they were brilliant strategists. When they picked that spot on the Thames, they needed two very specific things.
Right, it wasn't an accident. First, they needed the river to be narrow enough for their engineers to build a bridge.
For moving troops, goods, all that.
Exactly. But at the same time, it also had to be deep enough for large seafaring ships to sail up from the ocean and dock. And that exact spot was the perfect combination of both.
And you can still feel their legacy today, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. When you walk through the oldest parts of London, the street layout is a maze. That's because it follows the lines of the old Roman roads. And even now, anytime there's a big construction project, they find stuff.
Like what?
Roman coins, pottery, tools. You're literally building a modern city on top of 2,000 years of history.
It must be like an archaeological dig on every corner.
Pretty much.
Speaking of history set in stone, let's talk about the landmarks. These buildings are like storytellers. The Tower of London, for instance. It's nearly 1,000 years old.
And it really tells two different stories. On one hand, it was a royal palace, a symbol of power, where they kept its crown jewels.
But it has a much darker reputation, too.
It does. It was also a place of fear. A high-security prison, a site of execution. So it embodies both royal power and, well, political terror.
And right next to it is Tower Bridge. People sometimes get that confused with London Bridge, but this is the famous one.
Yes, the one with the huge lifting platforms. They're called bascules that open up to let tall ships pass through. It's a global icon.
Then you shift over to Westminster, which is the political and royal hub.
You have Westminster Abbey, which is where kings and queens have been crowned for centuries. It's an incredible link to the past.
And right there on the river are the Houses of Parliament.
The center of government, with that world-famous clock tower. Everyone calls it Big Ben, though that's technically the name of the huge bell inside.
The scale of some of these buildings is just incredible. St. Paul's Cathedral.
Well, its massive dome was designed to dominate the skyline. After the Great Fire of London, they wanted a symbol of the city's rebirth, something you could see for miles, and you still can. All these landmarks are fiercely protected.
Which brings up a modern problem. How do you move millions of people through a city built on an ancient layout?
The answer is, well, mostly underground.
The tube.
The London Underground. It's an engineering marvel, mainly because it's the oldest subway system in the world. It started running way back in the 1860s.
And because it's so old, the lines follow some pretty strange routes, don't they?
They do. They had to dig around what was already there, without modern tech. That's why the map looks like a complex spiderweb of different colored lines.
And on the surface,
You've got those thousands of red double-decker buses. They're just as iconic, and they fill in the gaps where the tube doesn't go. And of course, trains connect the center to all the suburbs and other cities.
The payment system is really streamlined now, too.
Oh, definitely. Almost no one uses paper tickets. You just use an electronic card or, tap your phone or credit card to get on. It makes moving so many people much faster.
But all this public transport is necessary because of the traffic.
Exactly. Driving in central London can be, well, a nightmare. The traffic is often incredibly heavy, which is why so many people just choose to walk or cycle instead.
And to connect London to the rest of the planet, you have Heathrow Airport.
Just west of the city. It's consistently one of the busiest airports in the world. Really underscores London's role as a global gateway.
Let's circle back to the river, the Thames. You said it was the reason the city exists.
It's the whole story. In the past, the riverbanks were just lined with docks and warehouses. Goods from all over the world. Sugar, silk, tea came right into the heart of the city.
But that's changed now.
It has. Today, it's used much more for tourism. You see boat tours everywhere. And for some light transport, the heavy industry is mostly gone.
But the river is still critical for the city's future, right? There's that massive project, the Tideway.
Yes, the super sewer. It sounds a bit basic, but it's a monumental piece of engineering.
What's the goal?
London's original sewer system is Victorian, over 150 years old. It just can't handle the modern city, so sewage often overflows into the river. The Tideway is a huge new tunnel designed to stop almost all of that. It's about cleaning the river for fish, for wildlife, and for the people.
And the river itself is very dynamic. It's tidal.
Intensely tidal. The water level rises and falls twice a day, sometimes by as much as 23 feet. It's a powerful force.
So for a city so dense and urban, what might surprise people is the amount of green space.
It's a real urban oasis. There are 8 major royal parks, which were originally the monarchy's private hunting grounds.
But now for everyone.
Thankfully, yes. You have Hyde Park, which is huge and has a big lake called the Serpentine for boating.
Then there's Regent's Park,
which is home to the London Zoo, and St. James's Park, which has amazing views of Buckingham Palace and is famous for its pelicans.
Elegant.
Yes, it's a tradition that goes back to the 1600s when they were given as a gift. And these parks aren't just for looks. They help keep the air cleaner.
Okay, moving from nature to culture. London is obviously a global hub for art and learning.
And one of the most important things to know is how accessible it is.
You mean the free museums?
Exactly. Many of the biggest, most important museums in the world are completely free to enter. Think about the British Museum. It has millions of objects from every continent, every period of human history.
And the Natural History Museum with its dinosaur skeletons and that giant blue whale model?
Right. The fact that you can just walk in and see all that is a massive public good.
And then there's the theater scene.
The West End. It's world famous. A whole district packed with theaters showing plays and musicals every single night. It's a huge draw.
What about education?
The schools are incredibly diverse, reflecting the city's population. Kids start primary school around 5, then secondary at 11, and usually wear a school uniform.
A very British tradition.
It is. And that diversity continues right up to the university level. London has some of the best universities in the world, attracting students from everywhere.
Shifting gears a bit, what about sports?
Sport is a massive part of life there. Football, soccer, to Americans is king. The city has several huge professional teams.
And massive stadiums like Wembley.
Exactly. And cricket is also very popular in the summer, with famous grounds like Lord's. London's a major sporting city. It's hosted the Olympics 3 times.
That cultural diversity you mentioned, you can really see it in the food.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can get traditional fish and chips, of course. But you can also find authentic food from just about any country you can think of.
A place like Borough Market is a good example of that.
A perfect example. It's one of the oldest food markets in the city. But today, it's filled with fresh produce and specialty foods from all over the globe.
Okay, finally, let's talk about the economy and daily life. It is a global financial center.
Without a doubt. That tiny square mile we talked about is the heart of it. Banks, insurance, the stock exchange. But the economy is much bigger than just finance.
Right, creative industries too.
Huge. Film, fashion, technology, and of course, tourism is a massive industry. You can see that economic power in the skyline with all the modern skyscrapers.
And it creates this huge commuter population.
It does. People travel for hours every day to work in the city center.
But that success comes with a downside. The cost of living is very high.
Extremely high, especially housing. And you see everything from centuries-old terraced houses to brand-new apartment towers. The city itself is divided into different boroughs, each with its own local government and really its own character.
So when you put it all together, what's the big picture?
I mean, it all comes back to the River Thames. The entire city's history, its wealth, its power, it all grew from that strategic spot on the river. And that laid the groundwork for the diverse powerhouse city we see today.
And that foundation is still changing. You mentioned the Tideway Project, that huge effort to clean up the river. It makes you think, doesn't it? How will that change London's relationship with the river that created it over the next 50 years? Good luck exploring this information.